Guitar Buddies, a song that needs no introduction, though I'll give it one anyway. It was, of course, Chuck Berry and Johnny B. Goode. So a friend messaged me and said, would I do some classic rock and roll? So I thought, I've got to do this one. And, of course, it's one of those songs that lots of people will get up and jam with a band because like everyone knows it. A lot of times, they'll play it in maybe B or A, popular keys. But the original is actually in B flat. As Keith Richards said, that's more of a piano key, man. But there you go. That's what the original's in. And but the great thing about it is once you've learnt it, it's really easy just to move it up or down because it's all all the shapes are transposable. Just moving them up or down a fret, to play it in a different key. Anyway, we'll start with the rhythm. We've got a B flat stab at the start, so you've got the intro. Just hitting a B flat chord there. And then coming in on the E flat on that intro. So I'm just playing 6 and 8 on the A and D strings. So we've got an E flat and a B flat. And then adding the 6th note of E flat major, a C. So we've got an E6. That kind of classic 1 and 2 and ba, ba. I'm playing this all with downstrokes. Just keeps it nice and even. So then you go to the B flat. Same thing, just down a string. Then to the F. So back to the A and D strings, but up 2 frets, 8 and 10, and adding 12. And the first time, it's the only time it does this, it goes a bar of F, a bar of E flat, then to B flat for 2 bars. The rest of the time, it goes 2 bars of F, then back to B flat. Okay? But just on the intro, you've got... Back of us was the evergreens. E flat, B flat, F, B flat, go. And it's the same for the verse and the chorus. It's your classic kind of 12-bar blues. All right. So another couple of things to add is just on the solos in the middle, you do some stabs again. This time, stab on a B flat, E flat, B flat, and then and again. That kind of stuff. And just at the end, you've got a little kind of classic rock and roll finish. Where you just play a chord, a semitone above the root chord and slide back down to the root. So you've got that at the end. Okay? So, of course, the intro is such a classic. And the great thing about this is you kind of learn it, and then everyone kind of plays their own version of it. Okay, as long as you kind of get that kind of bit in, people will kind of recognise it, and then you can kind of do your own thing. But it's good to learn it, and then you can play around with it. Okay, so we're starting with those little run into the song with a 7, 6, 8. Okay, so on the G and B strings, we've got D, F, G. So we're starting on the 3rd of the chord. Going to the 5th, going to the 6th. Okay, so we've got, so. And then we're doing some double stops on the B and E strings on 6. So just playing the top part. All based around that B flat chord. So just do a slide. Again, all down strokes. It keeps it nice and... It doesn't sound quite right doing down up. It's better with... So I'm doing all downstrokes on these bits. This you can kind of pick how you like. Okay. So we've got the little slide from 5 to 6 on the B and E strings. Then we're coming down 9, 8, 6, A flat, G, F. Then hammer to that D, D flat. And then finishing on a B flat. So you've got 9, 8, 6, 6, 7 on B and G. Finish on 8 on the D string. So go. And then you've got, so you've got, yeah, so here you've got a little slide to, again, B flat and F and B flat, like here, but an octave lower. So I'm just playing 7 and 7, sliding up to 8 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So then, then we got, I'm sliding to 7 and 6, adding a G. Okay, so that's on the G and B strings. Okay, so it's the same notes we started with. Oh. Okay, so we got, yeah. I'm sliding down to 5, a C, a B flat on 3, and then a finish on a G on 5. So yeah, and then the next section is just all this, just a kind of snappy bend on the E flat on 8, bending up towards the F and then hitting the F. Again, another classic rock and roll lick that you can put in loads of things. Okay, you've heard that so many times in other songs. Okay, and he does, and sometimes just once on this occasion, but whenever you like, really. He hits both notes, so it kind of goes. And then we've got, so then we've got another just a little bend, and then this, it's nice this because it's combining the blues scale with the major scale, so it's not all just kind of blues scale, which a lot of people will kind of use when playing over like a 12-bar blues. It nicely mixes it up, so you can learn a lot from learning these little shapes. So we've got, a little bend, and then coming down B flat, A flat, G, F, 6, 9, 8, 6, and then we're going to a C. So we're going 8, 6, 9, 8, 6, 8, and then a little quick hammer, 6 to 7. Okay, so we've got, and then from that we just play a little sweep. So across the chord, so we're playing 7, 6, 6. And then, so we've got, so we're doing that little sweep, and then playing an A flat, and sounds on the track like a slide, but you could just as easily play it normally. You know, nobody's really going to notice, but you got, it's kind of that. So you go sliding 9 to 8, hitting 6 and 6 again, and then just finishing with just kind of like we played before, that bend on 8, hitting the top 2 strings, and then a little hammer from 6 to 7, land on 8, land on the boots. Okay, and that's your intro. Okay, so then you've got the solo sections. Prior to that, we've got little bits, lead bits that we play on the choruses. So the first chorus is simply just playing 10 and 9, and then 11 on the G and B strings. So we've got F and A flat, the 5th and the 7th of the chord, hitting the root on 11. Yeah. And it's nice to do a little slide into that. And it kind of finishes that first chorus with a little kind of bluesy, you know, you can put a little lick in there, whatever you like really, but I think it was something like that, just a little double stop bend on 8 and 8, 6 and 6, land on that B flat again. Okay, and then the second chorus doesn't do that. It kind of just does little bends, just bending like we did earlier on the intro where we were playing, but faster, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's the second chorus lick, and then we're into the second solo. Starts the same way. So we've got that same intro, but now we play. Okay, so what we're doing here is, so we've got 6 and 6 on B and E, 8 and 8 on G and B, and then play 6 and 6 with a hammer to 7 on the G string, and then hit the B flat on 8 on the D string. So you've got, then you just play the same thing, but without the, so it's just twice. And then we're just hitting that double, that, so yeah, so it's just 6 and 6, bend, 6 and 6. Okay, not kind of a full bend, just a little push. Then for the next lick, we've got so what I'm playing there is a bend again on that E flat on 8, then B flat to A flat, and then a C. So we've got bend, then 6, 9, 8 on E and B, and coming down just like before, A flat, G, F, E flat, hammer to D, 9, 8, 6, 8, 6 to hammer to 7. So, and then we've got, So here I'm playing 3, 1, 2, So I'm playing that double stop, and then G, F, D. So we've got so it's all 8, 6, 7 after that double stop. So it's all those notes. Yeah. So and then the kind of last time it changes to what more like we played on the intro. So just play that B flat, but then so instead of that, playing double stop there, 8 and 8, 6 6, hammer to 7, land back on that B flat. So that kind of thing. So yeah. And then a little kind of pull on that on 8 and 8, 6 and 6, 8 8, back to B flat, that kind of thing. And then we're into again solo. So we're starting in the same way. We don't do that next time. We just straight into okay. So it's the same intro. Then we're just pulling on 8 and 8. Okay, and so that's on the G and B strings. And then it's kind of like this. We played earlier, but now we're doing with a. We're now doing a double stop here. So playing both. Before we were kind of playing that kind of stuff. Now we're playing 2 notes. Okay, so we're both playing an E flat and a G on the G and B strings on 8 with a pull. And it's kind of snappy. Yeah? So you go, so it's not, it's kind of, and then you got, so we're doing all that, and then you're kind of finishing with a little bend on that actually. So the finish is, yeah. So the finishing lick is, so what you do is you play 6 and 6, you know, and then a little bend on 8, back to 6 and 6. Okay. And then 8 and 8, back to 6 and 6. So, yeah. So you got, and then we're playing all double stops here. So we've got a blue note there from the blues scale. Okay, E natural and A flat. Okay, E flat and G. So we're playing 9 9, 8 8, 6 6, and then landing on that B flat on the D string on 8, and then okay, you should be familiar with this by now. It's just that classic bend on 8. Yeah. Yeah, and then double stop. 6 6, hammer to 7. hammer, and then land on 8. So we've got. I'll play it slowly. Then again, just that double stop. And 8. There you go. Hammer to 7 from 6 and 6. Land on there. And so you can take learning those, you know, the way Chuck Berry did it, and a lot of that, all those notes he uses, a kind of classic rock and roll, you know, it's basically a combination of the blues scale with the notes from the major scale too. But all those notes kind of work for rock and roll. So it's great. So you can take that shapes, play about with it, do your own versions. I say don't get too hung up on trying to play it exactly like Chuck Berry did. No one will care. All right. And then on the third chorus, we kind of go back to playing that, but it kind of does it that this time. Extra. A go-go. So just a little extra bits you throw in. Like an extra note. And then at the very end, I'm just hitting a kind of B flat there. And then when everyone's going like that, I played it as a 9th chord. It's a great way to end a rock and roll song. Is to play. So I'm playing 14, 13, 14, 14, 14. And slide it down 1 fret. Johnny be good. Okay, let's take a look next at the bass. So for the bass part, I'm just ad-libbing around those 3 chords with some kind of classic rock and roll style riffs. Okay, so we've got a B flat, an E flat, and an F. Okay, so it's all based around 6, 6, and 8, the E and A strings. So on the opening, I'm just hitting a B flat, and then we come in on the E flat. So the important chord tones that I'm hitting are the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. Very classic kind of rock and roll. Okay, and I'm just playing those kind of as I feel it. So basically, the important notes are E flat, G, B flat, C, also E flat. So it's that pattern. So it's 6, 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay, and it's that pattern that repeats when we go back to, so I've got. So it's now just moving it down a string for the B flat. 6, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5. Yeah, and then going up to the 8th position. So you've still got those notes, that shape for the F. And on the intro, it goes from F to an E flat, but on the rest of the song, at the last 2 bars of the 12th bar, it stays on the F. So it's only that first time you go. And I played a little chromatic bit there, so you can mix it up as long as you kind of hit those chord tones. So I was playing on the intro, I kind of played. Just going chromatically up 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, back to the start. Okay, so a couple of stops there. You can hear my dog squeaking there with his toy. On the guitar breaks, it kind of E flat, yeah. Just hitting those, and the rest of it is just. As long as you're hitting those chord tones, okay, you can really put notes in between as you feel like it, and you'll be okay. All right, so you can have a lot of fun with that, just playing about in a rock and roll style. Put some fills in, do what you like. At the end, I was playing. Just a so just on that B flat, I was playing B flat G F twice. So A 5 A 5 A 8 or D there, boom, and the last two notes, boom, the rock and roll ending B to B flat. So you kind of hit a chord. A little classic rock and roll ending is to hit a chord a semitone above your root chord, and then immediately go to the root. So you got the. Alright, so you can have a lot of fun with that bass part, and a classic bit of rock and roll there. So it's one that everyone should have in the arsenal for gigs and jams, etc. So there you go, Johnny Be Good. Thanks for watching, buddies. Cheers.